Welcome back, everybody.
Morning, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin.
Hey, so last week's episode was pretty much a bummer, but in
No,
a
it
really
was a
good
real
way,
bummer,
right?
right,
It was consistent with the rest of the show. We've had episodes like this in the past. We know that a lot of the times things don't always work out in the show, right?
Right. It was gross
Very
for
gross.
a lot of it, and I'm really glad it got redeemed for me when Bartlett sat down with Yen at the piano
Yeah, it was a great scene.
and leveled with him and said,
Great scene.
"If you say you're not, if you're defecting now. If you say you're going to stay, we have to let you stay." And the fact that like some of the advisors, some of the political advisors, were okay with let's tell him he can't. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
And it's like let's not tell him his legal rights. That bummed me out a lot, obviously. So I'm glad that isn't what they just stuck with.
It's troublesome to think like people like that can be in that position.
No,
You know, I understand that there are other things at play, but the real kick in the teeth was the fact that the end of the
it
episode
didn't even work.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter anyway.
They could have got that guy out, but it's too little, too late. Unfortunately, sometimes in the show.
It's good to understand, though, that for the point of the episode, like this is the state of the world, and these are the decisions that had to be made, and sometimes things suck around those decisions.
I love the show is obviously fiction. It's fantasy, but it does stay true to the real world in that way.
Sure.
I mean, it is still grounded in reality. It's not over the top.
It definitely doesn't shy away from issues.
No, not at all.
Which is utterly fantastic. And I'm hoping we get more Gary Cole. I don't know how many episodes he's in, but I hope that it seems like he's going to be a recurring character.
Yeah,
which I'm all for. I thought he was great as Bingo Bob.
He's one of my favorite parts of the show right now.
Right.
And I really liked the last episode, obviously with the teleprompter.
Yeah. That was.
He's
nice.
like, all right, guys, I'm game.
Right. Well, and as we logistically head into the last couple of seasons, and we start talking about the next presidential campaign starts, because the campaign's going to run, during at least season 7, right?
Sure.
That I think he's going to be right. I think he'd be a big part of that, as far as the campaigning and the conventions and
do you think he would
the election
be the next? Do you think he's gonna be like the next successor to Bartlett?
You mean as far as the front runner?
Yeah.
I mean, he's automatically going to be near the front just by being vice president. The simple fact that he is, it depends on. Obviously, we thought it was going to be Tim Matheson, right?
Sure. That's not happening.
Unexpected circumstances. He's off the show. So, is he going to rise or is he going to prove himself less capable?
I hope he does rise. And
right.
We didn't get a lot of Hoynes whenever he was on the show.
Sure.
We've maybe had him in 6, 7 episodes, you know what I mean?
Right.
Total out of the 4 seasons that he was on the show. So I'm imagining we're going to get a lot more Gary Cole than we are going to get Tim Matheson.
Sure. I think that's reasonable.
So
just because of the election, I think even if we don't get much of him the rest of this season, in season 6, I do think in season 7 when we start who are the people that are coming forward to start doing debates and stuff like that, he's got to be in that group as vice president.
I would imagine so. And also, I don't mean this in a bad way whatsoever. I think that Tim Matheson's probably a bigger name than Gary Cole is, especially at this point
for sure.
So they're probably
Gary Cole's a pretty big name now.
They can pay him more.
Yeah, I mean, really, yeah. Tim Matheson was a bigger name actor at this 20 years ago than Gary Cole was.
Yep.
Gary Cole has had a great career, but I mean, when I looked at his IMDb, like half of his stuff is in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just been ranking.
Somebody on Patreon pointed out through that conversation about his IMDb.
Right.
James Hong has an insane IMDb as well.
I've looked at James Hong's because he's been in Hollywood for like 60 years.
Longer.
Long time. Forever, right? Yeah, no, I scrolled through it. It was hundreds. I don't remember exactly, what the range was, but it was hundreds of acting credits for James Hong.
You're not going to believe this one either. Eric Roberts.
Big IMDb?
Huge.
Really?
Huge.
I mean, I guess
in everything. Straight to DVD stuff, but still everything. He's in so many movies.
I'm sure he's popped up on a lot of TV series and stuff as well.
So, it just goes to show. If you want to do a deep dive on IMDb, there you go.
I do like to look up actors and be like, how many credits do they have? Because my Marcus Pacino, who only has 65 acting credits, which is nothing compared to some of these guys, because he just does films for the most part. He doesn't do very much TV. That Amazon series, the
Hunters.
Yeah, something like that. I've never watched it, but he just does a movie every once in a while, and that's kind of who he is.
I don't want to flex on it or anything, but I've got 3 IMDb credits.
I have 0 IMDb credits. All right, we're going to get started here. We do want to thank all of our Patreon subscribers for being with us. I give a special shout out to Actuarial Lurker, Bob As Fuldez, Chris, Jeff, Christy Goverston, NJ, Surya Gundavarapu, and Weird Magic. Thank you so much, guys. We are incredibly happy you're here with us.
Yes, we are. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel. If you might hit the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
If you'd like to see a full reaction to this and everything else we've watched or are currently watching, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. On every show we're watching, including The West Wing, we are at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon from where we are on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube and like to keep going, you can do it on our Patreon. You will have to sync and watch along on your own source material. You are only going to see near us for copyright purposes. We're also watching 30 Rock as a Patreon exclusive.
This calendar is every event, every speech the president's going to give over the next 3 months. You don't want to spend one day talking about economic accomplishments?
Right now we're losing jobs. This is how we get past crisis of the hour. Seize the agenda again.
Thanks for coming on short notice, Will.
Mr. Vice President.
Spare tire on the automobile of government. Heartbeat away from having a heartbeat.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I'd like you to be my communications director. First senior level hire in the White House.
He has a job.
Yeah.
You're looking for your own Toby Ziegler.
I'm looking for someone who can beat Toby to first. Or you can shape the next presidency from the ground up. Total access. Coach of the team.
I would say no. I would still say no.
It's a sales pitch.
Is he really thinking about it? He just became deputy communications director of the White House.
It was one heck of a sales pitch.
It was a good sales pitch. It was, but no.
And I get what he's saying, but it's also like, dang.
Yeah.
She wasn't tired already.
Right.
Did you read it?
I'm not reading it. There's some new stuff since the early edition.
It's a great piece.
It's a puff piece. Save one for my mom.
She'll be proud of her little birthday boy.
Okay, I'm making a prediction with all this praise of Josh. Something's about to go wrong for Josh.
Gosh, nice.
The First Lady's got some last-minute budget requests. Running through the process.
The First Lady's got nothing.
Nice profile, Josh. I didn't even talk to him, if that's what
Hats off to the Jewish Connecticut Corleone.
Toby's working up a new message calendar. When the president signs off, we treat it like it's chiseled stone. No more lurching from issue to issue.
A senator put them on anonymous hold.
A hold on military promotions?
It's Chris Carrick.
Why would a conservative Democrat block military promotion? I want to be sure we're...
This is what I do. You got time to wrangle a senator on the Hill?
Okay, thanks. HHS appropriations. For some reason, they're reopening the bill.
HHS appropriation?
It's Amy.
Donna, I need Amy.
What's wrong?
I need Amy.
HHS appropriations. Remember our violence prevention initiative? The Republicans just reopened the bill and added back every penny. Just like that.
Yeah, something's going on with that. Did Amy pull something?
She's done it before. I mean, we'll see.
Amy doesn't have time for you this morning.
Tell her to make time. I'm going to the Hill. What's on the Hill?
Some buildings and a big statue of a guy with a beard.
I meant the meeting. This isn't an all-access pass. You're not backstage at a Stones concert.
You ever been backstage at a Stones concert?
No.
It's pretty great.
He didn't need to take a shot. He asked a reasonable question. What's your meeting?
The EPA's report on energy needs. Reuters is saying the White House scrubbed language critical of the coal industry.
Then the Labor Secretary also talks about...
the Vice President. We can't pretend he's another cabinet flunky.
You're right. Cabinet flunkies have job responsibilities. Give him his assignment. I don't care if he likes it. You work for the president, so does he.
That's true, but I think Will's now really thinking about making the move, and I don't agree with it. I still don't think that's the right idea.
You can't block military promotions. We went over this last week. We can't have an inter-party fight over this when the Republicans are thrashing us on security.
Tom
I don't want to fight.
I wish he was in Top Gun, too.
Is he still alive?
I think so.
The MB-827.
To be built in my state of Idaho, I'd like a signed letter of intent today.
One problem with the MB-827 launcher.
What's that?
It doesn't work.
Violence prevention's now been doubled.
It went from gutted to doubled?
200 million.
Are they trying to outflank us on the left?
I can't see why.
Let's find out.
There's a lot of very complicated things going on in this episode.
Yeah.
No Fitzwallace, no letter, no deal. Mess. We want to keep rolling over for him?
He's a Democrat from Idaho. They use Democrats for target practice up there. Sometimes he's got to lean to the right. Okay. But go easy.
He's not going to go easy. I think this is going to go bad.
Yeah.
She's making an end run around the budget process. You're not supposed to do that.
Not supposed to what? Run our office?
Liaison to whatever you're doing with HHS appropriations.
Mark, does the president wish his press were as good as Josh Lyman's?
Yeah, this is going to blow up.
Why'd the White House tamper with an independent report?
I've addressed that.
No, you haven't. Are you defending
If there was interference with an independent report, that was obviously a mistake.
You can't say that.
Whoa. Margaret! You're going to put out a statement in your own name. It's going to say what you should have said in that briefing room, that we stand behind that report.
That's saying I wasn't speaking for this White House.
You weren't.
Oh, this has gotten ugly.
It really has, hasn't it? This whole episode's a mess.
Carrick's vulnerable in Idaho. We can't win back the Senate without him.
You're suggesting we build a multi-million-dollar heap of garbage the DOD doesn't even want?
Maybe we cut our losses.
That's easy for you to say. I'm the one who lost him on stimulus. I'm the one who has to get him on our agenda. I'm fine on Carrick. Do your job, I'll do mine.
No.
How many calls today?
Sir?
The First Lady, how many calls did she make to members of the subcommittee today?
It was her.
What?
Oh, no.
Amy.
She has to be here to want things. And you don't have to be here at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Kinda
actually
surprised she
she's
didn't
actually
fire her.
right there. He could have fired her.
He offered me a job last night as his chief
Yeah.
strategist.
This is the NBA. You don't go back to shirts and skins.
That's my point. Yeah.
I was
The post profile, the legislative juggernaut, all those anecdotes, all those quotes came from you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
What are you talking
I'm
about?
pretty sure I was just fired by the President of the United States for doing my job.
I'm leaking to every newspaper in the known universe that Carrick's blocking military promotions, that he's doing it for a hunk of pork barrel defense industrial scrap metal.
This is gonna blow up.
Yeah, it is.
Fine, I'm trying to
we'll
make...
figure
I
it
don't
out.
want your job.
Why not?
Because Bartlett's never going to finish the job he started. Name an issue, you're still clawing your way back.
You took the Russell job.
Yeah. He's gonna work for Bob Russell.
When I make a decision, that's the decision. If you can't back it up, don't go in the briefing room.
You asked to see me, Mr. President.
You're not fired. Abby would choose you over me anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
This building's not very conducive to relationships, sir.
That was not this episode.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm holding this together with Scotch tape and baling wire.
We have an economic policy held together with Scotch tape and baling wire. Somebody's got to do what we came here to do.
It's interesting.
I'm loving Toby in this episode.
Yeah, me too.
What else have I got?
Senator Carrick's in the Roosevelt room.
Chris Carrick's here?
What are the repercussions of this?
Yeah, to go see Tom Skerritt.
Yeah.
I released the military promotions. I can't defend that to the people of Idaho.
Well, I hope that lesson won't be lost when our new stimulus package is
Oh, it won't be. I'd like you to personally deliver that to the president. It's my letter of resignation from the Democratic Party.
He's changing parties.
Wow.
You're leaving the party? This is because of me?
But you made it a whole lot easier.
Wow.
He's got to deliver that message to the president.
Yeah. He really is. Boy, do I have some bad news.
Everyone shut up. I don't deserve this. Well, this is a tough episode. Interpersonally.
That's how we end it. All right. That was really well done.
Yeah.
It wasn't the easiest to react to because all the moving parts in it, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it was still very, very interesting. I thought that was really well done, and I was really engaged through all of it. You know what I mean? Like I was following it very well, and I just it was not a happy episode at all.
We had episodes in season 1, towards the start of the show, that dealt with the fact that the administration was just flailing and things weren't going well, and they had to refocus with the let Bartlett be Bartlett.
Sure.
You know, and I feel like that's what this is. It's like, hey, here's a reminder that sometimes we just aren't getting it done. And across the board, we saw it from everybody. And there's going to be repercussions. Like, we're not done with that thing with the guy quitting the party.
So, Tom Skerritt will definitely be back for sure, I think, maybe. Or if
he might not be back, but the fallout will be back.
Last. Lost my train of thought there. It's interesting that Bartlett is down after the Zoe stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
the economy's falling apart.
Yeah,
they're heading for a recession. That'll always get you.
Do you think that we'll get there? If they'll be in recession mode?
Yeah. It's just not that we've really dealt with on the show before.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It happened in real life. You know, So yeah, it's probably going to be an issue. I think it's going to be an issue that's kind of hovers around maybe even until the next election cycle starts up, and it's a campaign. The economy is a big campaign issue. Well, it's always a big campaign issue, but this lingering sluggish economy is. I'm mostly curious not only about the blowback from the party shift there, but from Will quitting his job and going to work for the vice president, what that's going to mean. Are we getting another deputy communications director that's going to be added to the cast?
No, I don't know. You shift some people around.
I don't know.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, there's going to be fallout from that, and I think you're right. I think we're going to get more Bob Russell because of it, because I don't think they're like writing Will off the show.
No, Josh Molina is the Rob Lowe of the show,
right? Yeah,
so he's here.
But now he's with the vice president and not the president, and not with Toby.
It's strange. It's a strange choice. I mean, I love that this show covers everything, right? I mean, we've done a lot on the show, and the fact that we have this aspect now is interesting. I would never guess that.
We talked about before the show started that we were like, well, Bob Russell's got to be one of the candidates, right? One of the leading candidates for president in season 7.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that maybe Josh Molina's role is going to be big as far as like running his campaign, kind of like being we see him now as being the Toby for the vice president. He might be more of the Josh/Leo for the vice president in that last season,
which we saw him run a campaign before.
Right? I mean, it's
very capable.
I mean, the vice president brought it up. Like you're the guy who got the dead guy elected.
Yeah, it's no small feat.
Right.
Yeah, and each episode has big storylines for certain characters. They focus on a character more than others. This one kind of had 4.
We had a lot, and it was like everybody was like things weren't going well for anybody.
No, CJ Leo, obviously Josh. We're not Josh. Josh, but Will.
Will Toby.
The fact that his name is Josh in real life kind of throws me off sometimes, But yeah, the Will storyline was huge, obviously, and Josh's mess going on there. We start the episode off with Josh being praised, and then by the end of it, it's his fault.
I kind of got the sense something was going wrong with Josh because we started off with so much of that newspaper article of "You're such an amazing guy," and he didn't really play it up, but he wanted to talk about it a lot more than anybody else did. Leo's like, I don't really care. I don't care. Yeah. No one cares about your newspaper story, and so I think Josh does start to believe his own hype a little bit sometimes.
He does,
and he let that.
He's human.
Yeah, sure. But it blew up in his face here. Don't call Wolf Fitzwallace. Don't intervene. Don't make any amends to the guy. I'll go show him who's boss. And that did not go well, right? So I think we're going to see a humbled Josh, at least in the short term.
Yeah, and try to strong arm the guy. Do you think that Josh's assistant is going to be a bigger role too, the Jesse Bradford character?
Well, he saved Josh secretly once. Josh doesn't know about it.
That's true.
So he definitely has. He's not stupid, and 2, he definitely has a little bit of pull. There's a chance that he might be the guy that has to somehow rescue Josh.
I would like to see that.
I would too.
I really like his character.
I do too.
He brings a lot to the screen.
Yeah, he's funny also. He's a nice comic relief character.
For sure. And this is an episode where we want to pick it up immediately afterwards. Like, I could easily watch the next episode right now.
Sure.
Just to get some answers.
Right. Like, what's the blowback going to be for Josh?
Yeah. And long gaming it, we still have to have the Abby and Jed talk. They have to.
Yeah, at some point they're going to have to talk and reconcile their differences.
Because for a second there, with the Amy storyline, I kind of thought maybe she was being a little spiteful, of Jed. Maybe she was really trying to,
I did too. Right? Yeah. But nope, that was Amy kind of overstepping her bounds a little bit.
Great twist.
Yeah, it was. I didn't see that coming. He figured it out pretty quickly, though, didn't he?
He did. He's not dumb.
No, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. We will very happily catch you on the next one.